When it comes to building wealth, every portfolio has two sides. Think of them as liability and risk. Liability-driven investing is about security. It covers the things you must pay for, both recurring and scheduled. Recurring needs are ongoing obligations like retirement income. Take a pension, for example. That's a liability-driven investment. Scheduled needs are larger one-time events that you can plan for. Think about a house down payment in 3 years or buying a car in 4. A super simple example is a certificate of deposit or CD. On the other side of the portfolio sits risk, because we know risk equals return. Put simply, you want to be rich, right? Then you'll need to embrace risk. The goals here are more about aspiration, so building wealth over decades, leaving an inheritance for your kids, funding the big dreams that can't be met with safe, short-term assets. The risk side should almost always contain a high degree of stocks. So the question is, where do you draw the line? And there's a good rule of thumb that says to not put any money on the risk side they will need within the next 5 years. A few quick examples show how this can work in practice. Maria works for the government. Her job is secure and she'll receive a reliable pension at retirement. At 45, she's still 2 decades from drawing on that pension and her expenses are modest. What does her liability side look like? A small emergency fund and some short-term savings cover her near-term needs. Her pension already secures her recurring retirement income, acting like a bond-like asset. Maria enjoys traveling and values flexibility, so she plans to keep renting rather than buying a home. And after years of relying on the city metro, she's now planning to purchase a car. The risk side. Maria's retirement accounts can lean almost entirely on equities, since her pension takes care of her liability needs. Around 80% of her portfolio sits in global stocks aimed at long-term growth and leaving a financial legacy for her kids. Maria's example shows that having a pension automatically gives you a sizable liability side, and that in turn, unless you're extremely risk-averse, means you get to layer on plenty of risk. Second example. Jason is a 32-year-old freelancer whose income varies widely. He has no employer pension, so his retirement depends entirely on his own savings. He has a young family and he wants to buy a home very soon. His liability side. Jason focuses on building a strong emergency fund, 12 months of expenses, and sets aside a safe bucket for a substantial house down payment. Since he's busy growing his business, he wants nothing to do with managing bond letters. Instead, he prefers straightforward options like a high-yield savings account or a money market account. His risk side. As mentioned, he has no employer-sponsored retirement plan, so he must build his own, for example by contributing to IRAs. For now, his contributions are invested aggressively in stocks, as they won't be touched for decades. Jason's case shows that even a young investor who isn't afraid of risk may dial it back for a while to focus on goals like starting a business or buying a home.